On the 26th of December, 1900, the lighthouse relief vessel Hesperus arrived at the island of Eilean Mòr, the largest of the Flannan Isles, 11 miles west of the Outer Hebrides in the North Atlantic. The lighthouse on Eilean Mòr had been lit for the first time just 1 year earlier. It was one of the most remote postings in the British Lighthouse Service. As the Hesperus approached, the relief keeper Joseph Moore noticed something wrong. No flags had been raised to acknowledge the vessel's arrival. No keeper appeared on the landing platform. The lighthouse was silent. Moore went ashore alone. He climbed to the lighthouse compound. The entrance gate was closed and latched from the inside. The door to the lighthouse was also closed. He went in. The kitchen table was set. A meal had been prepared and partly eaten. The fire had gone cold. The clock on the wall had stopped. One chair had been pushed back from the table, or overturned. Moore would later say he could not determine which. In the entranceway, only a single set of oilskins hung on the wall. The heavy weather gear belonging to James Ducat and Thomas Marshall was gone. But the oilskins belonging to Donald MacArthur remained. MacArthur had gone outside without his weather gear. Moore searched the island. He found no one. He returned to the Hesperus and reported to Captain James Harvey. Harvey logged the lighthouse as abandoned and notified the Northern Lighthouse Board. The superintendent, Robert Muirhead, arrived to conduct the formal investigation. He examined the lighthouse, the log, and the island. He found no sign of the three men. No bodies. No explanation. The lighthouse log was the only record of what had happened in the days before. It covered the period from the keeper's arrival through to December the 15th. After that date, there were no further entries. The log recorded severe storms striking the island in mid-December. The entries noted damage to equipment on the western landing. Iron railings bent, a box of ropes displaced, stone walkways affected. Later accounts attributed emotional details to these entries. Descriptions of the men weeping, praying, in states of distress. These details have not been verified against the original Northern Lighthouse Board record. They should be treated as reported, not confirmed. What is confirmed is this. The final log entry was dated December the 15th. It recorded that the storm had passed, that the sea was calm. It was the last thing written in the lighthouse on Eilean Mòr. James Ducat was the principal keeper. He had served in the lighthouse service for decades. He was considered one of the most experienced keepers in the Northern Lighthouse Board. Thomas Marshall was the first assistant keeper. Donald MacArthur was the second. All three were experienced men. All three knew the island and the North Atlantic. None of them had given any indication in any communication that anything was wrong. The last contact with the lighthouse before the Hesperus arrived had been a report that the light was not showing on the night of December the 15th. A passing vessel noted the darkness and reported it. No one acted on the report for 11 days. The Northern Lighthouse Board's official conclusion attributed the disappearance to a freak wave. The western landing showed evidence of storm damage consistent with an enormous sea. The theory holds that all three men were swept from the rocks simultaneously. No wave was witnessed. No bodies were ever found. The freak wave explanation has been accepted by some investigators and disputed by others. It does not account for the closed gate latched from the inside. It does not account for the partly eaten meal or the stopped clock. It does not account for MacArthur leaving without his oilskins. What is known is what Mòr found when he entered the lighthouse on December the 26th. 3 men had been living and working there. Then they were not. James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, Donald MacArthur. The lighthouse was found exactly as they left it.